In the summer of 2014, a song appeared on the internet that nobody expected to change hip-hop overnight. And he didn't come from a famous, established rapper. It didn't come from a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign by a big record label. It came from a teenager in Brooklyn with a simple beat, a raw, aggressive energy, and a dance move that would soon take over the entire world. The song was called Hot N, and the artist behind it was a young, unsigned rapper named Bobby Shmurda. At first glance, it looked like just another viral internet song, a flash in the pan, a catchy hook that people would forget in a week. But within days, something absolutely unbelievable happened. The track exploded across social media in a way the industry had never really seen before. It was the peak of the Vine era, and 6-second clips of people performing the now famous Shmoney Dance appeared everywhere. You couldn't open your phone without seeing it. Soon, massive celebrities were doing the dance. NFL and NBA athletes were doing the dance after scoring. Even late-night television hosts and global pop stars were doing the dance. There was a specific moment in the music video where Bobby throws his hat into the air, and the camera never shows it landing. The internet joked that the hat is still in orbit to this day. That single moment became a cultural phenomenon. In what felt like a matter of weeks, Bobby Shmurda went from an unknown teenager in Brooklyn to the most talked about name in hip-hop, but just as quickly as his career exploded into superstardom, it would suddenly and violently disappear. To understand how this happened, and why it shook the rap world to its core, you have to go back to the beginning, before the viral hit, before the millions of views, before the headlines. Bobby Shmurda, whose real name is Aqua Pollard, grew up in the East Flatbush neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. Like many kids in the area, he grew up entirely surrounded by hip-hop culture. Music played out of cars on every corner. Freestyle rap battles happened in parks, in stairwells, and in school hallways. For young Bobby, rap wasn't just entertainment. It was a language. And more importantly, it was a potential way to escape the harsh reality of the struggles around him. As a teenager, he began experimenting with music, writing lyrics, and recording with his close group of friends, a collective known as GS9. But at the time, no one in that neighborhood imagined that one of those casual studio sessions would soon shake the foundation of the entire music industry. In early 2014, Bobby recorded a track over a beat originally produced by Charlie Beats for Lloyd Banks. The song was simple, but it was incredibly catchy. It had a menacing, undeniable energy, authentic street storytelling, and a hook that embedded itself into your brain immediately. That song became Hot N. At first, it just spread locally. It was an anthem for the streets of Brooklyn. But when Bobby and his friends uploaded a video online, just a group of guys hanging out on their block, having fun, and performing the Shmoney Dance, everything changed. The internet took control. Within weeks, the song began rapidly climbing the Billboard charts. Major music labels, who were desperately trying to understand the new power of viral internet marketing, suddenly started paying very close attention. The bidding war began. And soon, Bobby Shmurda and his GS9 crew found themselves in the corporate offices of Epic Records. There is a now legendary video of Bobby, right after signing his multi-million-dollar record deal, standing on top of a massive conference room table in front of wealthy record executives, performing the Shmoney Dance while they cheered him on. The teenager who had been rapping on the corners of Brooklyn was suddenly living the dream every young artist imagines. His song was certified platinum. His music video gained hundreds of millions of views. He was performing on national television. It seemed like the triumphant beginning of a legendary career. He was the newly crowned king of New York rap. But behind the scenes, serious, life-altering problems were already in motion. While the record executives were celebrating the chart numbers, law enforcement had already been watching. For months, the NYPD had been conducting a massive, secret investigation into the activities connected to Bobby's group of friends. Authorities believed that GS9 wasn't just a rap collective, but an active street gang involved in organized criminal activity across Brooklyn. They were monitoring phone calls. They were tracking movements. They were building a massive case. And in December of 2014, just as Bobby was reaching the absolute peak of his fame, everything came crashing down. In a highly coordinated sting operation outside of Quad recording studios in Manhattan, the exact same legendary studio where Tupac Shakur was infamously robbed and shot in 199 for police swarmed. They arrested Bobby Shmurda along with more than a dozen other members of GS9. The charges were staggering. They included conspiracy to commit murder, weapons possession, reckless endangerment, and a laundry list of other severe crimes connected to alleged gang activity. Suddenly, the rapper who had dominated the internet just months earlier was now appearing in headlines in handcuffs. His bail was set at an astronomical $2 million. Fans were completely blindsided. For many people, it felt like the story had violently changed overnight. Instead of celebrating a rising rap star, the media was now broadcasting a criminal case that threatened to put him behind bars for the rest of his life. Over the next several months, the situation grew even more bleak. Epic Records, the label that had happily cheered him on while he danced on their boardroom tables, did not step in to pay his bail. Legal battles dragged on, court appearances were delayed, and Bobby remained sitting in a cell on Rikers Island while his case slowly moved through the legal system. For fans who had just discovered his music, it felt surreal. Just months earlier, they had watched him living a life of luxury in viral videos. Now, the same artist was wearing an orange jumpsuit. As the case continued, prosecutors painted a dark picture of Bobby and his associates. His legal team fought the charges fiercely, but the pressure of a coordinated federal-level task force was immense. Then, in 2016, a moment happened that forever cemented Bobby Shmurda's legacy in the streets. The prosecution offered a plea deal, but there was a catch. Bobby was offered a lighter sentence for himself, but his close friend and fellow rapper, Rowdy Rebel, was facing up to 12 years in prison. In an ultimate display of loyalty, Bobby Shmurda refused to take the easy way out. He accepted a plea deal that gave him 7 years in prison, taking more time for himself specifically so that Rowdy Rebel's sentence could be reduced to 7 years as well. He sacrificed his own freedom and potentially his prime years in the music industry for his brother, but for the mainstream rap world, this marked the sudden, devastating end of one of the most explosive rises in modern hip-hop history. A rapper who had dominated the charts, the radio, and social media only 2 years earlier was now locked away, and just like that, Bobby Shmurda disappeared from the spotlight while he was serving his sentence. The world did not stop turning. The music industry continued moving forward at a blinding pace. The SoundCloud rap era exploded. Streaming completely took over. New artists emerged. New viral dances appeared. The entire landscape of what was popular shifted. But something incredibly rare happened during those 7 years. The fans never forgot Bobby. His song, Hot End, never left the party rotation. It remained an undeniable hip-hop classic. The Shmoney Dance continued appearing in memes, in video games, and in internet culture. The Free Bobby movement became a rallying cry across the entire hip-hop community. Every time a rumor appeared about his potential early release, social media erupted with excitement. The mystery surrounding his absence, combined with the story of his incredible loyalty to his friends, actually made his legend grow larger while he was inside. People began asking the same question again and again: what will happen when Bobby Shmurda finally comes home? The years passed, and finally, on February 23, 2021, after serving his time, Bobby Shmurda walked out of prison. The internet absolutely broke. Fellow rap superstar Quavo from the Migos personally picked him up from the prison gates in a private jet. Clips of him stepping off the plane, dressed in designer clothes, spread everywhere online. For millions of people, it felt like the triumphant return of a lost icon. But returning to the music industry after nearly a decade away is one of the hardest things an artist can do. The hip-hop landscape had changed dramatically since 2014. Drill music, which Bobby helped popularize in New York, had evolved into completely new sounds. A totally new generation of teenagers was controlling the viral charts. Bobby now faced an incredibly difficult challenge. He had his freedom back, but he needed to prove that he could still compete in an industry that had moved on without him. Some fans expected him to immediately drop another chart-topping viral hit the second he landed. Others worried that the pressure and the expectations were simply too high for anyone to live up to. Since his release, Bobby has been navigating this new reality. He's releasing new music, touring, and rebuilding his life as a free man. But the moment that made him famous, the summer of 2014, remains one of the most fascinating and lightning in a bottle explosions in rap history. Very few artists have ever experienced a rise quite like Bobby Shmurda's one viral song, one unforgettable dance, one summer where the entire world seemed to be moving to his exact beat. And then, just as quickly as it appeared, the spotlight was shut off. Today, The story of Bobby Shmurda serves as a stark reminder of how unpredictable and unforgiving the music industry and life can be. One moment, you can be standing on top of a boardroom table, dominating the world. The next moment, everything can be taken away. But despite the last years, Bobby's name holds a unique, permanent place in hip-hop history. He is remembered not just for a viral dance, but for the ultimate sacrifice he made for his friend, because for one unforgettable moment in 2014, a teenager from Brooklyn created a wave that the whole world rode. And even now, years later, the legend of Bobby Shmurda continues to live on.